Titans, how are you all? I hope you all are fine, good and safe at your home. Welcome for today's science lab visit with Richa ma'am, Ashish sir and myself Suman Dhankar. I'll give you a visit of chemistry lab. Richa ma'am will give you a visit of biology lab and Ashish sir will give you a visit of physics lab. They will help you to learn the concepts of working of the models and the equipments which are being used in the labs and during the activities. So let's take the visit one by one. Stay with us. So let's welcome for today's chemistry lab and have a visit of this lab. Yes, beta, this is our store. This is our chemistry store where we are keeping various type of chemicals. You can see in this store, various chemicals are kept and they are separated from the lab because the firework is there, many electrical appliances are there. That's why we are keeping these chemicals in a separate room. You can see this. Yes, beta, after this chemical store visit, we are going to see these equipments which are kept in these boxes. You can see the beakers are kept, small beakers, large beakers, and these flasks you can see over here. You can see these are the conical flasks having their measuring values like you can see over here where we can measure the chemicals. Okay. Let's visit. This is burner and we have to lit the fire and we can open it after lighting the fire. It's connected to the cylinder. Okay. And you can see there's chemicals over here. Let's start with this. This is sulfur powder. It is written over here. And this what we can see is its expiry date, its batch number, the year of manufacturing we can see over here. Please always see the chemicals dates before using them. Expiry date is mandatory and every lab has to keep their chemicals only when they are in the before the expiry date, right? Okay. These are the chemicals. This is retinol solution what we are using for various experiments in our classes, and iodine solution that is again used for the starch test that we are doing in our exercises and activities. This is pestle motor where it is used to make the emulsions. We will put the cream over here and the salt over here and then we keep on rotating and the emulsion will be prepared. Example, creams, right? Okay. Let's go to the Bunsen burner again, and here it's a stand where we are putting the wire gauze, and then this is the china dish, and then this is the tongue. After getting hot, we can hold this with this very easily and we can keep it inside very safely. Okay. When we used to mix the things, then we can use this rod. It's a glass rod and we can mix the things with this using glass rod, right? Okay. After this, these are the test tubes and these are test tube holders. Like they can be adjustable very easily. You can hold this test tube while using this test tube holder. Don't press it very tightly, it will be okay and fine. Now you can apply it on the burners when they are in use, and you can keep it again here. Don't touch it and then release it. It will be very easy for you. After doing the experiments, you can use these brushes to clean them. You can put this and you can clean it very easily under the water, right? Okay. So you can see this is the burette that will be used in our classes for the titration methods. And yes, beta, now let's see this working of this centrifugation method with this apparatus. Right? I'm taking the test tubes. I'm keeping these test tubes in this. One by one, we should make a balance opposite to it. After that, I'm doing it manually right now, but there is this electric appliance was there and we can use it with using the electricity and we can rotate it. Automatically what will happen? You can see they are getting centrifuged together. This can be used with this method, right? After that, this is the burette, and what we will One more apparatus over here is, this is pipette. And with this pipette, we can suck the liquids as well as water. I'm doing for here. I'm sucking it up to a specific mark. This is the limit mark. After that, I will put it in the conical flask. If I have to take the volume up to 100 level, then I have to suck it again. And then I will release it with my finger, which will go automatically over there. You can see the water is collected over here very easily without touching any kind of chemical with my hands, right? So this is the water bath apparatus in which we are going to put the water, and when the water becomes hot at a certain temperature, then we can put our apparatus and chemicals as well. Let's see the working. You can see they are having the caps over them. We can remove them one by one according to the requirement. I am taking this test tube. I have adjusted with this stand, and now I am keeping this over here, and it was switched on from here, and then the temperature was set, and then the chemicals will be given to a particular temperature after keeping over here. Next, what I can use, if it is on the same temperature, I can use one more apparatus same during it. I can keep it over here, and the boiling can be possible very easily. At one temperature, 6 we can use at one time under this water bath apparatus. So thank you very much all Petines for being a part of this chemistry lab visit. I hope you able to understand many apparatus working, many test tubes about conical flask and all what we have studied about this, and many chemicals you are also come to aware with it. So that was our chemistry lab, and whenever the school will reopen, definitely we will have a live visit also. Till then, thank you, have a nice day, stay safe.
A very warm good morning to all of you. Let's visit BioLab today. Let's come to the lab. See this figure. What is this? This is skeleton. You look straight because of this only. It provides you the structure by which you can stand straight. So it is very important, and you look beautiful by this skeleton. Now let's come to the another model that I am going to show you. What is this? Can you imagine? This is eye. Structure of an eye. Can you see? This is the front part of the eye. I will show you by opening it. See? This is the lens. You can see this part. This is optic nerve. And image is formed behind the retina. Here the image is formed. Now let us move to the next part, next model, which is an ear. See, can you see this part? This is the outer part of the ear. This is called pinna. You can see in your books also, it is in sound chapter. So this is the pinna part. All the sound waves are collected from this part. Now let us move to the middle part. This is the middle part of the ear, having 3 bones: stirrup, hammer and anvil. And later on, the sound waves move to cochlea, and then we are able to hear the sound. Optic nerve is there. So let us move to the next model. This is your heart. It has 4 chambers: right ventricle, right auricle, left ventricle, left auricle. So this is the model of the heart. You can see it is having 4 chambers. Now you can see this, the model of different type of bones which are having in our body. So this is the structure of different bones. This is pelvic girdle, and all these are the different structure of digits and bones present in your body. This is the model of a liver. Can you tell me? This liver secretes bile juice, and where it is stored? It is stored in your gallbladder. So it is very important organ in your body that comes under the category of digestive system. This is the model of a kidney. What is the function of a kidney? To filter the urine. So to purify your blood, this kidney is very important. What is the shape of this kidney? It's a bean shaped. And what is the smallest unit? It is nephron. Don't get confused in between neuron and nephron. Neuron is a part of the brain, whereas nephron is a part of a kidney. Okay, so neurons are the nerve cells which carry the messages, and this is nephron, whose function is to filter the urine or filter the blood, impure blood, and it releases the urine, and it absorbs all the salts and necessary nutrients. Now let us move to a very interesting instrument. This is known as compound microscope. You know that why this instrument is used? This instrument is used to see the microorganisms which are not seen through naked eyes. We can see through these compound microscope. So here we keep the slide, we keep the organism which we want to see, and we can see. This is a lens. Here these are the two lenses. This is fine adjustment. So we can see here this is a light. This is a lens which is used to gather the light rays. So this is a compound microscope which is used to see the microorganisms which cannot be seen through a naked eyes. Let us move to another instrument. Can you see this? This is a beam balance, and it is used to measure the salts. So this is used to measure the different type of salts which is used in the lab. So let us move to another interesting instrument. Come with me. This is an incubator. Can you see? See this name? It is an incubator. Maintain the temperature, as you have read in chapter number 3 of class 7 about sericulture. It is used in sericulture industry also, where we kept the eggs at, give them a particular temperature which is required by. I hope you have enjoyed visiting BioLab. From my side, I'll guide you. Always put on this mask. Stay safe, stay home, and I want to see you back in school very soon. Bye-bye.
Hello dear students, how are you? I hope you are enjoying the science activities demonstrated by your science teachers. You have seen different activities for physics, chemistry and bio in your science camp. And today I am here to give you a tour of our physics lab, and I will show you the different equipments you are going to use in your senior classes 10th, 11th, 12th, and also the equipments which are related to the activities which you are doing in your current class. So please follow me and I will show you the different equipments we are having in our physics lab. First, have a view of our physics lab. We are having long tables equipped with electric switches and supply and the resistances for doing various experiments. And let us start discussing about these experiments one by one. Here you can see this is an electromagnet which is getting the supply from a transformer. You know that a transformer is a device which converts high voltage AC to low voltage AC, and we can make electromagnet using this. And this experiment is in class 12th, and here we can find the frequency of AC, which is based on the principle of vibration of string and the electromagnetism. So you can see when the electricity supply is turned on, the magnet becomes active. Follow me. Next, we are having various lenses and mirrors. You can see this is your convex mirror, which is bulged out on the reflection. You can see that you will always see erect image in this. The view covered by convex mirror is very large. Here we are having concave mirror. You can see it is curved inward on the reflecting surface, and you can see inverted image in this. We can also make images using concave lens. You can see I can focus light on my hand using concave mirror, and similarly we are having convex and concave lens. As you can see, concave lens is thick at the periphery and thin at the center, while convex lens is thin at the periphery and thick at the center. So these are concave and convex lens. Coming ahead, we are having a traveling microscope. In this traveling microscope, we can adjust the points, we can move this for focusing, we can do adjustments, or we can do fine adjustment. This microscope can be moved horizontally or vertically as per the requirement. These are different meters we use for doing the experiments related to current electricity. This one here is milliammeter. You can see A sign for ammeter and M is for milli. The range is 0 to 500 milliampere. The red is positive and the black is the negative. Similarly, we are having voltmeter. V is for the voltmeter. This voltmeter is having range 3 volt. And we are having a galvanometer. You can see galvanometer is used for measuring very small current, and it can measure on the both sides. So you can see positive as well as negative scale. Here is the battery or the cell. They are connected in series. You can see minus and then plus. Then we are having second cell whose minus and plus. So we connect these batteries in our circuit and then we can have the voltage. Okay, we can also check whether these batteries are actually having some voltage or not. So you can see there is a deflection in the meter. So these batteries are giving me 2 volt output. Okay, so dear students, you might have heard about the tuning forks. You will study about propagation of sound through air. These are the forks which are used for generating sound of different frequencies. And you can see this, their frequency is also printed on this. You can see like it is 256. So this tuning fork is of 256 Hertz. These are the rubber mats we used for hitting, and I hope you can hear the sound. And if you will observe closely, you can also observe them vibrating. So these are tuning forks which you will use for finding the unknown frequencies or for studying different effects. Here we are having two very common devices. This one is known as vernier caliper. It is used for measuring the length of the objects. Like I can find the diameter of this block, I can take reading here. You will be amazed to know, like you use scale for measuring the length of a line and the accuracy is in millimeters. You can draw a line 3.5 centimeter, that is 35 mm. But using this vernier caliper, we can measure even 10 times more accurately. So we can also measure 1/10 of a millimeter using this vernier caliper. It is so fascinating. And then here is a screw gauge, which is even more sensitive device. You can see on its circular scale there are 100 divisions. Each division divides 1 mm into 100 parts. So accuracy of screw gauge is even 10 times better than vernier caliper. Coming ahead, we are having prisms. As you can see, the triangular shape of prism, the two sides are triangles and the three sides are rectangle. We use this prism for studying dispersion and refraction of light. Here is the stopwatch, which is very common design. We use it. We turn it up and it starts. We turn it down and it stops, and we can reset also. So in physics, like when we are doing any experiment like measuring the acceleration due to gravity or measuring the time period of oscillations of a simple pendulum, we can use this clock. We can reset it, start it, stop it, like that. You can see various kits are available for performing the experiments of senior classes. We are having so many stopwatches, glass slabs are there, and so many voltmeter and galvanometers are there for doing the experiments. We are having so many tuning forks, screw gauge, vernier calipers, etc. Come this side. Here we are having inclined plane. You can adjust the angle of inclined plane, and we can have the value of the slope as per our own requirement. So this is used for studying the friction. If you want to change the angle, we can adjust it. We just tight it there, and we can set the angle of this inclined plane. You will be amazed to see how small weights we are having. Here I am holding the weight box in my hand, where you can see small weights like this. This small weight is 1 gram only. This is 1 gram, so small. We use this pin for lifting 2 gram, 5 gram. You can see this one is the 20 gram weight for measuring, very small. Then we are having another 20, 50, and then we are having 100 gram weight. We use this weight for measuring small weights in gram. And here coming to this section, I am having variable resistance with mediostat. Many students ask me, sir, how variable resistance looks like. So you can see this is a rheostat, which is a variable resistance. You can slide this and you can change the resistance between these 2 points. If you will move it on the right side, resistance will increase. If you will move from to the this side, the resistance between these points will decrease. It is a variable resistance. Its range is 50 ohm. These are resistance boxes, 0.1 ohm, 0.2, 0.5. Whichever key you will put, the value between these 2 points will become that. So right now it is 2 ohm between these 2 points. We are also having bigger resistance box for having higher value of resistances, starting from 1 ohm all the way to 5000 ohm. Any value if I want to make between these 2 points, I'll simply pull out that key. Like if I pull out this, the value is 2000 ohm. Okay, we use it in doing the experiments of current electricity. This is a simple fixed resistance 5 ohm. This is a two-way key in which we are having 2 points. Okay, so these are the few equipments which you are going to use in your senior classes like 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and I hope you enjoyed this video. We are hoping that we'll see you in school campus offline soon when this COVID pandemic will be over. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Take care.